Well, good morning, everybody. Want to welcome you here to the District Administration Center and the Coffee with the Community for this month. Before I jump into today's agenda and our topic, I just wanted to remind everyone that we will actually have our final Coffee with the Community for this school year coming up next month on Thursday, May 11th. And that will be a kind of a year-end review with our superintendent, Dr. Jeremy Tucker. It's hard to believe we've just flown through another school year. So April is here, and we appreciate everyone coming by on this beautiful spring morning here in April. My name is Dallas Ackerman. I'm the Director of Communications here in the Liberty School District. And if you do not know, Coffee with the Community is an opportunity for us to engage with our community by presenting a different district topic that we think not only our parents, students, our community members would be interested in. So we think we have that for you here this morning. As we always also tell you, this event is recorded and replayed not only on our district YouTube channel, but also KLPS TV channel 18 here in town. So we're able to get a lot of eyeballs on our presentations for those that are not able to attend in person. So that provides us a great opportunity. So with that, I'm going to introduce our guest here this morning, and that would be Mr. John Sprugel, who has led the charge in our Building Pride campaign. You see this billboard behind me. I was telling somebody this morning, if you've ate at any restaurant in and around Liberty, you've probably seen this same billboard around. They are everywhere, and all of our schools have been involved in this campaign, of course, to build up two district stadiums, or two stadiums at two sites, both at Liberty High School and Liberty North. So Mr. Sprugel is going to give us a good 20-25 minute update. I'm sure by the end he might encourage people to participate in the campaign as it begins to wind down here as it officially comes to a close at the end of May. I'm sure there'll be opportunities beyond that to get involved, but that will be wrapping up very, very shortly. So with that, I'm going to introduce Mr. John Sprugel, and then of course our superintendent, Dr. Tucker. He is here, and he will come up at the very end and give a quick update on the district, maybe lead us, maybe tease us for what's to come in May, and then we will wrap up this morning. So I will turn it over to Mr. Sprugel.
All right, thanks, Dallas. Appreciate it very much. 47 days and counting till the end of the campaign here, May 31st, and it's coming quickly. We started back on September the 1st, and it's been quite the journey so far, and several more days to go here. So I do want to make a couple of recognitions here real quick, and for those watching on YouTube and for those watching on KLPS, these people are so deserving of recognition, and so I must do that at this point. The Building Pride Committee members, Shane DeVolt, the co-chair, and Russ Weathers, the co-chair, done a tremendous amount of work on this project, and so I'm very thankful for them. Heather Hall with our communications chair has done a tremendous job. Linda Wansing, our schools and community chair. Lisa Mayer, Larry Wepler, Steve Spencer, Steve Butler, and Bob Martin. And so we have convened pretty much so on a weekly basis, sometimes multiple times in a week, to communicate with the changing nature of the campaign. This is a very fluid campaign. There's a lot of unknown variables when we started. There are a lot less unknown variables now, but there's still unknown variables out there. And so their persistence and perseverance through this entire process and their hours and hours of commitment have been phenomenal. I also want to recognize a very key partner in this, the Liberty School District Foundation, and that's Nicolette Lauch, the executive director, and also Heather Waleski, the board president, and then their entire foundation board. And so they have acted several things on this, but a lot of the clearinghouse for the money, but also their role in just helping with donations and that type of thing. It's been a very tedious, arduous task at times, and so I really appreciate your commitment to it, very much so. The school board members, Can't go without expressing thanks for them. 100% supportive of this entire effort. And Kent Peterson's here today, and Kent, really appreciate all your support, and the other board members as well, because it's been absolutely huge and absolutely needed for this project to come to fruition. From the administration standpoint, nothing but 100% support as well. Dr. Tucker, Steve Anderson, Beth Heide, Cindy Sullivan, Dallas Ackerman, and many others. But those are the ones that I've worked with on a day-to-day basis on this project, and so it's been phenomenal as far as their contribution to the effort. The business community has embraced it greatly. The city manager, the city council members, the Liberty Economic Development Council, the Clay County Economic Development Council, the Liberty Chamber of Commerce have been very supportive, written letters of recommendation letters and endorsement letters as well, so that's been very appreciated from the entire community. The other people I want to thank is our business community. They have stepped up in a huge way to make this thing happen, as well as a lot of the patrons who have participated and contributed to this. And so, you know, whether the donation is $5 or the donation is $50,000 plus, every single person is needed in this to make this happen. So this is a monumental effort, and when there was one line of verbiage in a master facility plan at one time that said activity complexes to be privately funded, probably nobody at the time had any recognition or knowledge of how to go about doing that or the work to get that done. And so that is something that really is unique as far as a school district, a community coming together in a private partner or private public way to get this done. So with that said, as I said, we have 47 days left. We're almost to the finish line, and so we're going to finish strong here. I do want to go through a couple of things. The big ticket items that we have remaining, the video boards, and then into the charitable giving. And so what I'm going to start with right now is the large ticket items as far as what is remaining at this point. And I'll say this right now, we have a lot of interest in the remaining items, and I'm very confident that we'll get that done within the next 45 days. So if you can pause that for a second there. At each complex there are 7 main ticket items, and starting with the field sponsorship, the activity complex sponsorship, the stadium seating sponsorship, the convenience building sponsorship, the track sponsorship, and the entrance plaza sponsorship. And so at Liberty High School, we have 2 of those still open, which is the track and the entrance plaza. At Liberty North High School, if you could flip over there, Tina, we have 3 left. We have the field, and we have the track, and the entrance plaza. And as I said, we have interested parties in all those. The negotiations continue, and I'm confident that within the next 45 days we'll get those closed out. It really is phenomenal as far as the interest in this is concerned from a business community standpoint. And I think a lot of that has to do with the school district, the power of the school district in the community, and the fact that when you can, from an advertiser standpoint, you're trying to get your brand out there and marketing, you know, what is a place when I kind of hyper-local advertise that I can really impact and get to a lot of the people in the community. At some point or another, directly or indirectly, you're going to touch everybody in that community. And so the businesses recognize that, and they want to participate in this and be involved. So as I said, we have 2 left at Liberty High School and 3 left at Liberty North High School, and very confident that we're going to get those completed here. The video boards are like 95% sold out at this point, and so if we can, we don't have a video board picture, but there's $5,000 sponsorships on it, there's $3,000 sponsorships on it, and there's $1,500 sponsorships on it. And so, as I said, about 95% of that is completed, and we will wrap up the remaining 5% of that in the next 45 days. So a lot of our financing of this effort is being done through sponsorships in the business community, and so that's why I say that this is really unique and kind of a, I don't know of any other place in the country, and maybe some of you do that are watching or are here in attendance today, but no other place in the country that really has chartered out on this type of endeavor to do a kind of a public-private sponsorship of activity complexes. So very unique, and it says a lot for our community as far as their support of the school district. Charitable giving-wise, we are probably in the neighborhood of close to $400,000 we need to try to make up here in the next 45 days. And I'm going to be going through some things here that we're going to do to get to that point, but we're going to try to finish as strong as possible and give what we're all here for as the students a great experience for decades to come. There are several activities that are going to be taking place here in the next 45 days. And the first thing I want to mention is our Dining for Dollars, which is Thursday, April the 20th. We have the largest number of participating restaurants here in the city going to be involved in that. And there's flyers over here that you can pick up as you leave that note the restaurants involved. And then there's a couple of coupons and vouchers that you need to take with you to those restaurants. So all those restaurants are donating 10% of their proceeds that night to the activity complex. We've been very successful in the past with doing this. We've had 3 in the past, and they've each had a great support and good donations to the district. We're also going to have a second Dining for Dollars again on Thursday, May 18th. And I expect to have the same number of restaurants, if not even more, involved in that. And then something that no one should ever miss, and we had one of these up at Liberty North, is the faculty. We had a faculty basketball game between Liberty High School and Liberty North. That was awesome. Back in January or February. And great crowd, great turnout. Well, now it's going to be at Liberty High School this time. The date is TBA. It's going to be sometime here in May. But it's going to be a softball game, Liberty High School versus Liberty North faculty. And so we'll get the date out for that, but please make an attempt to make it to those because they're very fun. The other thing I want to discuss on the charitable giving side, because there's a lot, I still think, even though we've been in the campaign here for many months, the charitable giving side of things. And what can I do to donate and how can I donate? Sign here at the bottom, lsdf.org. That's Liberty School District Foundation website, lsdf.org. Go to that, click on the Building Pride logo, and then you can go through and get a variety of options as far as giving options to be able to give. So it was supposed to come up here on the PowerPoint, but they're still working on that. So I'm just kind of go through it here. Here we go. We'll start here with the timeline to completion. Actually, for this being printed back in July and August of 2016, we are somewhat on schedule, which is incredible. So 2016, we had the turf down, and thank you for the school district. They kicked in about $1.8 million to get this thing seeded and started. And so that was done by September of 2016. Fast forward here to September 2017. There's going to be a lot of this completed, but it is going to be an active construction site through the fall and through the winter. And so what we're going to start with initially here, May 25th, you're going to see a lot of things starting to show up at both facilities. So over the summer, our hopeful completion date is August 15th, give or take, but we're going to have stadium seating at both. We're going to have press box at both. We're going to have video boards at both. At North, they need lights, so we're going to get the lights up there as well. And so come Friday night, August the 18th, we will have, if everything goes as planned and the weather cooperates with us, we'll have our first varsity football game up at Liberty North on Friday, August the 18th. And then on Friday, August the 25th, we'll have the first varsity football game at the activity complex here at Liberty High School. So there's going to be a lot of movement of ground in that time period. So you're going to, first of all, see a lot of site work being done, concrete being laid, and then the stadium seating, bleachers being put in, the press box being lifted in, which is going to be very cool. They're going to have bring in a big crane and drop the press box down after they have the stadium seating done. So that'll be a cool camera opportunity to see that. What's going to be in the works, if we can go back, well, I can show it up here. What's going to be in the works throughout the fall is the convenience building and kind of where you enter the complex. That's going to be worked on throughout the fall. And so, unfortunately, we can't get everything done here within an 80-day period between now and August 15th, but that is going to be in the works throughout the fall. And so the activities directors at both schools, the principals at both schools are planning some very cool things to do as far as bringing in vendor trucks for food and that type of thing. So it's going to be a very good atmosphere there. So timeline-wise, for the most part, we're on board. Let's go ahead to the next one. Why don't we skip ahead to the next one there? Go ahead, skip through. Okay, the packages, there's a legacy wall, there's going to be a legacy wall, an honor wall, and a tribute wall for the people, for the patrons and also the businesses that have participated. So $50,000, you get a 2.5-inch high personalized lifetime inscription with your personal or family business name engraved on the entrance plaza to the activity complexes, a 12x12 brick paver, a special crystal gift commemorating the activity complex's dedication, and then publicly recognized at annual event at the activity complexes. Also a special reserved parking spot at the activity complexes for all events, and family admission to all Liberty School District activity events as well. And so we have right now 3 of those donors that have come in close to that area, and so we appreciate their effort. The $25,000 donor gets a 1 3/4-inch high personalized lifetime inscription with your personal, family, or business name engraved on the legacy wall, a 12x12 brick paver recognized annually at the activity complexes honoring $25,000 legacy wall donors, lifetime sports pass to all activities. So what's going to be very special about this is sometimes when you give money to something, you give money, whether it's $500 or $1,000, and you don't get an awful lot of return. It goes to a good cause, but you don't know exactly what it went to. One of the things we want to do with this is we want to continually thank the people who gave to this. And whether it's somebody that gave $100 or somebody that gave $50,000 or a business that's given $400,000 or $500,000. We want to continually, on an annual basis, bring them back, thank them for what they have done. And so 10 years from now, if I give $10,000, I'm still going to be recognized every year for that. And so that, I think that will be special to people that, hey, you know, we gave that gift 10 years ago and we're still getting this call every year to come back and receive recognition. So this is something that I think can be something that the district, if this is done properly, that the district can also work on in the future as far as private fundraising is concerned, if this particular one is done right. And that is, you know, it's a simple thank you and recognition. And that being done year after year after year, I think will endear ourselves, not only from the school district standpoint, but from the committee standpoint and the community standpoint, as far as what these people have given for the effort. As I said, 47 days left to go ahead and give. And so we have a $15,000 level, we have a $10,000 level, a $7,500 level, a $5,000 level, a $2,500 level, a $2,000 level. a $1,000 level, and a $500 level that you can give. Also, we have a $250 and $100. All that is broken down in the packet over here that you can pick up as you leave. We truly, truly, truly need to get word out here in the next 45 days that anything and everything is helpful and wanted and needed to close out this campaign. We're not going to have $5 million on May 31st, okay? So what this is going to be have done is over an extended period of time, which is yet to be identified, we are going to have this money coming in. I call it reoccurring revenue. That's going to be coming into the district to pay for this complex over time. And so your donation, please get it in by May 31st. There might be, from time to time throughout the years coming up, one time throughout the year that you could give. Like if you walk up to these places and go, wow, this is really cool. I'd like to have a brick in here, and it's October of 2017. You can still go ahead and get that brick, but it probably will not be put in until the following year. So there'll be an opportunity to continue to give, but if you want to be in on the ground floor, May 31st is the deadline here. So I'm going to open it up to questions at this point and see if anybody has any questions. I'll be glad to answer.
Is there like a Northland facility you can kind of, I mean, these pictures are beautiful, but is there one you can kind of compare it to right now that we might have been to, like the size of it? Like we were just up at Kearney, but this looks bigger than maybe the Kearney High School complex.
Size-wise, you might want to look at like maybe a Blue Springs or Blue Springs South, but there's going to be a lot of unique features involved with these activity complexes that kind of separate them from anything that's currently out there. Okay. One of the things is going to be the recognition walls. When you walk into this place, I mean, you are going to initially feel, hey, look, the whole community was involved in this effort to make this happen. And so several other things that are going to be unique features, but I would say kind of on the lines of a Blue Springs South, somewhere in that ballpark. Steve, what you want to?
Capacity-wise, it's very similar to Jewel.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Okay, well, I did want to also say that as far as recognition is concerned, we're going to put another full-page ad in the Courier Tribune with the donor list, so those people can get recognized here in the May 4th edition. And then we're going to have another mailing out to our entire community during the week of May 4th as well, just saying there's about 30 days left, and please get your donations in if you want to contribute to this effort. So, and again, anytime you can go to lsdf.org, which is Liberty School District Foundation website, and click on the Building Pride logo and donate from there. There are a lot of giving options on there, not only dollar amount wise, but also as far as if it's an annual payment, if it's a monthly payment, that can make this work. We're running a special here in April. It's for $2,500 over a 36-month period, which kind of comes out to close to $70 a month, which for a family of 4 is one less time that you eat out a month. And so it's a great opportunity to be able to get involved in this project and have a good commitment level to it over the years here. So once again, I mean, I truly do want to thank everybody in the community that's been involved with this, because it's been a monumental effort, and it could not have happened without a number of people coming together on this and working together. It's been challenging, but at the same time, it's you know, it is for the kids, not only who are currently at these facilities, but kids that yet to come as well. And so, you know, it'll be great when 7 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 15 years from now, some of us may be sitting at these facilities and say, hey, look, you know, we were involved with this from the get-go. And there's, you know, it definitely is going to be a point of pride for everybody in our community at both complexes to see, you know, what special we did here in Liberty to make this happen. So Any further questions? All right, I think Dr. Tucker is going to say a couple words here.
Well, again, thank you, John. Appreciate the presentation this morning. A lot of ground to cover, and I'm impressed by how much detail you can recall and remember. As he shared, this has truly been probably the best example I can think of a community collaborative project. From our community participants, business partners, administration, Board of Education, foundation, parents, you name it, we could go on and on and on. So again, a lot to look forward to, and really in thinking forward about the legacy we leave for our kids, for our students, and for our community. So it's a lot of excitement. You'll see a lot of ground turning over the course of the next several months as we dive into capital planning and projects associated with the activities complexes. The fireworks in the background reminded me of another celebration that we were able to participate in just as early as last week, and that is our Advanced Ed accreditation process. And so thank you to parents and community members that came out and participated in being interviewed by our external review team. There were a series of standards to which we were judged by and came out on top of that in terms of successfully being accredited by the Advanced Ed accreditation system. One thing that I want to highlight particularly is the number of classrooms that they went into and the work that they saw taking place with our kids and our teachers. The external review team used an observation tool called the Elliott, which is assessing educational learning environment observation tool. And from that, they walked away ranking our classrooms in our schools above the national average, above what districts that participate in the Advanced Ed accreditation network are typically scoring. So we have a lot to celebrate. There are some powerful practices that were identified in our school system that we're celebrating, but then certainly want to convey to our community. But as with anything, as we talk about continuous improvement, there are a couple of things that we can certainly focus on to continue to progress and move forward. So we're going to be doing that over the next several months. To say that the spring has been busy is an understatement. We're trying to wrap up this year while at the same time preparing for next year, whether it's budgeting, capital planning, whether it's hiring, just looking at our enrollment projections for next year. So we're excited, but at the same time, we're ready to move into planning for summer school and then preparations that are underway for next year. So thank you all for being here this morning. We'll certainly stick around if there are any questions. Look forward to connecting with you in May as we wrap up this year with our final Coffee with the Community. Thanks so much.